Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Vikings lose another one. Finish the season 7-10, pretty much locking up at best a top 12 um, draft pick. So I think the highest they can finish now is pick number 10, I believe. With Atlanta losing, we can't get higher than the 10th pick this year. So we don't officially have a top 10 draft pick. It's probably going to be 11th or 12th, depending on a couple games in the later schedule here at 325. I think Chicago's got to beat Green Bay, and then I think Las Vegas has to beat Denver, I believe, and then we would get the 11th pick. I believe that's how it's going to play out. But yeah, another frustrating loss. Obviously, the Vikings are just running out of players. You know, everyone's getting hurt. The offense, obviously, not as bad as the defense was today. The turnovers at the end by Nick Mullins, nothing too unusual for Nick Mullins. He just kind of was throwing up a couple prayers there at the end, trying to make something happen, and it just wasn't, obviously. But yeah, another frustrating loss. You can only do so much without your starting quarterback. We're missing Brian O'Neill, Ed Ingram, our whole right side of our offensive line. So, that's a big deal. But that obviously hindered the Vikings offense. Pass protection was not good again, once again today. It felt like it was getting pretty good right before Kirk got hurt. Like they were just running into form. Kirk was starting to run into form. This offense was starting to run into form. And then all of a sudden, Kirk got hurt and that all flipped upside down. It's hard to game plan, when you have four different quarterbacks under center. That makes it tough for an offensive line. But yeah, I mean, the defense has to figure it out. Caleb Evans did not have a good game. The secondary did not have a good game. We can't get any pressure on the quarterback without sending these extra blitzes, sending Ivan Pace, sending Jordan Hicks, sending Josh Metellus. We can't get any pressure. I mean, Daniil had 16.5 sacks, but, DJ Wanham's out for the year. We have gotten absolutely zero pressure from the interior of the defensive line. Harrison Phillips is an okay player. He's pretty good in the run game. He's not going to give you much in the pass rush department. Kyrie's Tonga's okay, especially what we're paying him and everything. He's pretty good in the run, but he's not going to give you a bunch of pressures up the middle. So the Vikings need to figure that out. And then, we can turn towards the draft now. If we don't go quarterback in round one, you got to strongly consider that we need to go get a pass rusher. Get a pass rusher in the first round of the draft. And, that could be a couple options. That could be the kid from UCLA. I know he's a Latu, something like that. And he's really good for the Bruins. But if you don't go quarterback, you need to go get someone on your defensive line. And it could be edge, too, because we don't know if Daniil is going to be back or not. And DJ Wanham's a free agent. A lot of questions to be answered by Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and then Kevin O'Connell, obviously, as well. So a lot to figure out here. Where do the Vikings go? The first domino is going to be Brian Flores. Are you going to go interview for these head coaching positions? Are you even going to get offered to? The last 4, 5, 6 weeks has not been good. Has not been good whatsoever. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Obviously we want Brian Flores back. He did such a great turnaround for this defense. They struggled right away the first couple weeks, and then they really found their stride like week 5 through like week 12. And then it seems like offenses kind of figured it out. And I don't know if the Vikings have the best personnel either to really figure out, the best way to scheme this defense. Like their secondary is not very good. Byron Murphy Jr. was out. And, he has kind of had only an up and down season as well. Looking at the other pieces in the defense, Daniil Hunter, he might not be back. Harrison Smith might not be back. DJ Wanham's a free agent. Who else are we looking at? I think Jordan Hicks is only on a 1-year deal. So that's another linebacker that might not be back. They have a lot of figuring out to do. You have some young guys that need to step up, and that was the case this year, and it just really hasn't been the case yet. But in my opinion, we go get a young quarterback. Now, I love me some Kirk Cousins coming off an Achilles injury, a major injury. Going to be 36 years old. Probably going to want 30 million plus yearly for a contract. Could be a 2 or 3 year contract. Then you got to go pay Justin Jefferson. Now, Christian Darrisaw kind of struggled at the end of the year as well. Wasn't as dominant as he has been in the past. So that's going to be interesting to see as well. But if you guys can just go in the comments, I kind of want to know what you guys kind of think. Like, bring Kirk back, go get a college stud. What are you guys kind of feeling? I know we're probably not. It's going to be hard. Caleb Williams, Drake May. There's been chatter that the Vikings were talking about moving up to go get Anthony Richardson. And whatever team they were trying to trade with said no. Like, they're not going to do it with Minnesota for whatever reason. They thought Minnesota would be set up too well. So, but I think Kwesi and Kevin, if they see a guy they like and he falls outside the top 5, pick number 11, pick number 12 is going to be a prime spot to go move up for that guy. Oz Flores comes back instead of taking a head coach somewhere. Coach Adam, how we doing? Haven't heard from you in a while. Thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate it. I think he comes back, to be honest with you. I think he comes back. These last handful of weeks, the defense hasn't looked that great. I think he's going to get an interview or two, but I think he's going to come back. Jim Harbaugh is obviously going to be the big name right off the bat. Ben Johnson for Detroit, we saw that today. I think they're going to be the two biggest hot commodities. But Brian Flores, if he does get a job, it's probably going to be one of the lesser coaching jobs. It's not going to be like the Chargers or the Raiders. They have some future potential, and I think those two are going to come down to Ben Johnson and Jim Harbaugh. So I feel like Flores comes back. I'm going to say 70-30. I think he comes back. It's time to get a plan in place for after Kirk, regardless, or if they re-sign Kirk. Yeah, I mean, even if they do re-sign Kirk, I would not put it past the Vikings, still drafting a quarterback early. And I think that conversation is probably going to be had with Kirk as well. And in his contract talks, he's gonna want to know what the Vikings' plans are. Are you guys going to go get a quarterback or what's going on? Because if I come here, I want the security. I want to be here for the next 2-3 years. But if you guys got a first round rookie waiting for me, are you just going to dump me after year one, or is there going to be pressure to play those guys? I don't think Kirk probably wants that. So that's going to be interesting to see as well. So, yeah, I think that's going to be interesting. I mean, go Bears. Go Bears, yeah, honestly. But, yeah, it's going to be fun to see. It's going to be a lot of talk at the Combine. Combine kind of seems like where it starts. All these rumors start circulating. I mean, the Trey Lance was the big one last year. I don't think that ever really got that close, to be honest. I mean, what's his nuts over at Pro Football Talk? I can't even think of his name right now. Mike Florio kind of started those rumors over there, but it sounded like it never really got that serious. So rumors are going to swirl, but it's going to be interesting to see what's true and what's not, because it was the big talk that the Vikings were going to go get a quarterback in the draft. It was going to be a hot topic coming into the draft, and never really seemed like the Vikings got close, to be honest with you. They had plenty of opportunities to take Will Levis, and they never did. I think the Vikings re-sign Kirk for a year and draft a young guy. Best chance to keep JJ, in my opinion. That's the next thing, honestly. That's a good point. Keeping JJ around, keeping him happy. He loves Kirk. I know that was a conversation does Justin not like Kirk Cousins? No, he does. He does. He obviously probably wants Kirk around. He wants that. He wants a competent quarterback to play alongside. He saw the Nick Bones, the Josh Dobbs, the Jaren Halls. And ain't going to do it. And ain't going to win you football games. So if Kirk is willing to take a 1 year, prove it deal, coming off an Achilles, a 1 year, $25 million deal with some incentives, I mean, maybe you go up to 30. I know CBS projected 2 for 76, so that's $38 million a year. And that's only the 13th highest. So it's not like it's crazy. The 13th highest yearly salary for quarterbacks this year, that rank is number 13, $38 million a year. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting, the JJ dynamic with Kirk, because obviously he's on a contract year. The Vikings want to get that done this offseason for sure. They do not want to go into 2024 with uncertainty with Justin Jefferson. They want to figure that out. So I think that's going to be very important to keep JJ happy. And we saw it today. The dude just catches everything. He is a superstar. He's the greatest wide receiver in the game right now. So that's another thing to look at. Keep JJ happy. Talk to him. And they've said before, the Vikings brass has said before, like they're gonna bring Justin into these conversations and see what he wants, and get his input. So, all right, let's see here. So Nick Mullins was 30 of 44 today for 396. He puts up those numbers for 2 tutties, 1 to Justin Jefferson, 1 to Jordan Addison. That Lions secondary is not very good. I thought our secondary wasn't very good. The Lions isn't very good. We're not very good. Then he threw those 2 picks. Ty Chandler, 12 for 69. He has an opportunity. I don't know if he's going to be RB1 next year, but he's found a role in this offense, in my opinion. Madison, 7 for 24. I would not be surprised if he's a surprise cut or maybe like a trade, just like for a 6th, 7th rounder. He just doesn't really fit what the Vikings are looking to do. And I don't know. I don't see him returning, to be honest with you. And that could surprise some people, but that's what I'm kind of looking at. JJ was 12 for 192 and a tutty. Johnny Munt, 5 for 58. Then Addison was 4 for 57 with a touchdown. He probably would have had better numbers than that if it wasn't for he kind of stopped on that flea flicker play. Idris, Andrew Booth. I didn't see him much in the second half, which was kind of weird. Like Caleb came back in, and then Jawan was in the first half as well too. But then like Jalen Williams came in, the rookie from I believe it's Illinois. He came in. I didn't see much of AB in the defense in the second half, so that was kind of interesting. I thought bring Cam Akers back. Yeah, that's going to really depend on his Achilles. Another injury. It's going to really depend on that as well. So it's going to be interesting to look. But I just wanted to come on here, guys, just talk a little bit. End of the season, kind of what the feeling was. There's going to be a lot of questions. KMW, trade Madison. Agree. So where are the Vikings at in draft next year then? Probably have to wait until after these games. I think there's possibilities for 11, 12, or 13, I think. But I think the most likely is the 11th pick and the 12th pick. I think the Atlanta loss confirmed that we will not have a top 10 pick. It'll be a top 11 or top 12. And I think there's a chance at 13. There's a chance at pick number 13, but I think it's probable of 11 or 12 in the draft, and that puts you in the prime position. If a quarterback drops out of the top 5 that you want, you can go move. You can go move up and get that guy, and not be mortgaging your entire future. They gave Jalen Williams snaps. Yep, he didn't play much this year. I didn't even think Lewis Seen got in. I don't know. I didn't see him on defense. I thought they'd play him a little bit today. He just must not have it. And that's sad to hear, unless they're like they don't want to throw him in too early. Harrison's gone after this year, I think. Harrison, we love you. A true Viking, but I think he's gone after this season. But yeah, you guys stay tuned for more live streams. We're doing that Viked Out as well. We've got some gear and some other content on there. I think we're going to have another live stream. I'm trying to remember when we're going to do that. I think Wednesday night. We're going to have another live stream on Wednesday night. We're going to give away some Vikings gear. So you guys tune into that. Just want to do this more, connect with you guys more. Subscribe to us on YouTube. That's honestly the best way to reach us and everything like that, especially with these giveaways and everything. YouTube is the best way, the quickest way to find us, and that's just Viked Out on YouTube. If you just type in Viked Out, one word, will pop up right away. Who do you like the best in the draft for QBs? Obviously, like most people, I'm Caleb Williams, Drake May. Those two are kind of interchangeable for me. I think Drake May he might be a little bit more pro ready than Caleb Williams. I know it's kind of crazy to say. Caleb Williams has like the off structure throws, the athletic ability, just the crazy arm strength. But I think Drake May is going to plop right into an NFL offense and be really good right off the bat, for sure. So, but my favorite, I really like Michael Penix Jr. The injuries scare me a little bit, not as much as most people. His arm talent is crazy. His accuracy is crazy. His throwing motion is a little weird. And maybe that is, I think someone like on Twitter or social media somewhere, they flipped it where it looked like he had a right-handed throwing motion and it looked more normal. So I think the left-handed motion just kind of throws our minds for a loop a little bit. So I really like Michael Penix. He is 24 already. So it is going to be a little bit of a question there for Penix. But I do like Michael Penix. Obviously, like I said before, I like Caleb Williams. I like Drake May. And then I really like Jaden Daniels. His frame worries me a little bit, but he's a really natural thrower, good athletic ability. LSU guy. I don't know if Jefferson has any connections with that LSU team right now, but if he does have a say and he does have connections, knows Jaden Daniels well. I don't know if I said Jaden McDaniels. That's going to throw me for a loop if the Vikings go get Jaden Daniels. It's going to throw me for a little bit of a loop, to be honest with you. But I do really like Jaden Daniels. I think that could be a guy that the Vikings kind of pinpoint in the draft. He is 23 years old, it looks like, but he won't be 24 until pretty much the end of the year next year. Heisman winner and everything, obviously, like that. I think he'd fit in the Kevin O'Connell system very well. Dan says Penix or Daniels. I would go Daniels, to be honest with you. Year younger, no injury history, more of like a NFL type quarterback. Penix is kind of like that backyard football guy, which would be really, 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 really fun with Kevin O'Connell and in this offense. And that actually might work into this offense because it's like guys get open. KOC will scheme guys open. And this offense is made to move the ball down the field, and he's the best deep thrower in this draft class. So, but I think I would take Daniels just for the potential and then the no injury history. But the combine's going to tell a lot again because the medicals are going to need to check out for Penix, and we will see if that does happen. I do like Bo Nix a little bit more than a lot of other people too. So Bo Nix could be an option as well, but I'd feel like maybe the Vikings are going to have a decently high second rounder as well. Do they grab someone with the 12th pick, like a really, really, really good defender with the 12th pick or 11th or 12th pick or whatever they have? And then if Bo Nix or say Quinn Ewers comes in, or who else would be down there? There's a couple other guys that if they fall towards JJ McCarthy, I think Cam Ward. I don't know if not a lot of people know Cam Ward. He's Washington State's quarterback. He's like a 6'3", 230-pound, really good, really big arm guy from Washington State who can just whip the football around everywhere. I think his stock's going to rise a little bit as well. Come the combine and towards the draft and all that kind of stuff. Could they jump back into the first round a la Teddy Bridgewater and grab a quarterback and get that fifth-year option? Interesting decision from Campbell today. Laporta, Reynolds, Branch hurt. Reynolds got hurt too. Sam Brown banged up. I did not understand. I was like begging him on Twitter to like pull your starters, dude. Do it. I'm like, it's not good. If it was the Vikings, I'd be like yelling at the screen at Kevin O'Connell, just get him out. You're getting the third seed. I mean, even if you do get the second seed, you're probably going to beat us anyway with a backup quarterback. Teddy would have came in final game of his career. He's going to retire. There you go. If Chicago and Las Vegas win, we get number 10. Oh, is that real? Is that true? Chicago and Las Vegas win, we get number 10. Maybe it was the 9th pick I was thinking. Maybe we will get a top 10 pick. That'd be dope. Go Bears, go Raiders. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to hop on quick. Thanks for everyone for tuning on. Like I said, I think we're going to go Wednesday night again. So keep that in mind. Again, subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. Just love interacting with you guys. Really means the most. We want these Vikings to do what's best for this franchise, and there's gonna be a lot of twists and turns here in the next few months, but it's gonna be fun. God bless, guys.